Earth Day coming up this Sunday, and there's no shortage of environmental issues raising concerns around the world these days. Who's going to solve issues like climate change? Our next guest says the most likely candidates are large multinational companies, perhaps even some of the companies once accused of wreaking environmental havoc in the past. Business consultant Bruce Piasecki is the author of World Inc., and he joins me now here in the studio to discuss this issue further. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. You argue in your book that companies, not governments, are most likely to solve major global problems like environmental problems. Why do you think that?
Well, if you look at the facts, the 100 largest companies in the world now control about 40% of all world trade. Of the 100 largest economies in the world, 51 of them are now multinationals as opposed to governments. So my book was written, World Inc., to update the Federalist Papers, The World is Flat, and also the whole idea of the wealth of nations, and to ask who has leverage on this new wave where going global is colliding with going green.
Going green, but going green in terms of cash profit. These are companies that are out there to make money. What's changed so much that going green, doing the socially correct thing, is going to be profitable for these companies when it hasn't been in the past?
Thank you. Great question, Peter. When I was writing in the 90s, I wrote a book called The Avalanche of Change since Bhopal. And just in the 17 years...
Just remind our viewers the
a Union Carbide accident.
In India.
Yes. Now, a lot of those changes in the 90s were driven mostly just by regulation. But in World Inc., I talk about this larger wave where some of it has to do with the undertow of corporate scandal, like WorldCom or Enron, requiring more disclosure, like Sarbanes-Oxley. Some of it has to do with regulation, but most of it has to do with consumer demand for higher efficiency because of the price of oil and the price of electricity. Some of it has to do with market forces, where Goldman Sachs is investing in renewables. So World Inc. tries to look at this larger wave where firms are beginning to surf it into the future, like a Toyota or an HP or a Home Depot, while many are being forced under by not learning how to compete on social needs.
You had access to Toyota and some of the inside workings at that company. Talk to me about that company in particular, the example it provides for your thesis.
A very exciting case study in that from 1999 to 2002, I was working for the head of sales and marketing in the body shop at Toyota. And when they looked at the hybrid powertrain and looked at how regulation had made cars go faster but also more efficiently, it took 25 years to go from 12 miles per gallon to 25. They said, let's use our smarts and innovation to double that. And so part of the excitement of the work is they chose not to just make it a Prius 1 and 2, a eco car. Through financial diagnostics and the rising price of oil, we were able to move it to the Camry line, the quality line, the luxury line this year, the Lexus line, and also the Highlander, the SUV line. So I believe in this World Inc. type of corporation that they will solve the global warming problem, they will solve the energy crisis problem through the power of this kind of innovation.
And for those companies out there that don't embrace this kind of social change mentality, profiting from going green, from doing the right thing in terms of the environment and other issues, they're going to fall by the wayside?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I started my company in '81. Of the Fortune 500, 60% of them are gone. BP bought Arco and Amoco. Union Carbide bet the ranch on the Bhopal accident. Nowadays, some of the larger firms are actually sources of this S-frontier, where Deming and Juran and the quality revolution kind of got it half right. All firms need to compete on price and quality, but the better one's about positioning for the near future on social needs. So in World Inc., I talk about competing for clean air, better use of materials, energy diversity, even addressing some other issues like avian flu.
What about the role of government here? You talk about these companies essentially supplanting government, solving these problems. Government needs to just get out of the way?
Not at all. I think what's different about my argument is I'm saying that this wave, government regulation is half of the pair of scissors, Peter. The other half that we're now sharpening in the new century as the world gets smaller and spins faster is the role of this business development. So the formula in World Inc. is to get beyond the despair of not knowing what to do and have more transparent leaders plus better products like the Toyota or HP case equals leverage on this new wave.
Interesting. Something, I found your book interesting, the topic, something certainly we'll watch as we go past Earth Day this Sunday. Bruce Piasecki, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.